and we had a list of speakers. What it generally is a celebration of femininity, and femininity in a high way. Ain't no twerking and people's ass out. And I mean, if that's a space for that, that's a space for that. Right? But we need to know, especially as Black women, that we are much more than that. The sensual energy, the sexual energy, the shape and physique of who we are as Black women is really kind of, the least we can offer. You know, we are builders, we are creators, we are, if you give something to a Black woman, you got something. It's just going to come forward in a way that you may not have thought about it. There was a time going by actually, that it was thought of to have a good woman in your life was a good thing.
Welcome to the Mind Body Energy Imbalance podcast.
All right, peace and love. What is the deal? Hey, peace and love. It is Samut, also known as Mama Yoga, your favorite mind, body, and energy and balance coach. And this is the Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance podcast. Welcome to the show. What's up, Flaw?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to podcast day.
Podcast day. We trying something new. What can you do? You just got to keep trying something new,
Absolutely.
And get it in how you can get it in. So how was your week, Flaw? You doing all right? Everything good with you?
Yeah, my week has been great. I'll say that. Just by putting in the energy and the effort. Just piggybacking off of the episode we had last week with Mark Cato, which was a tremendous episode.
Yep.
And this week we got together at headquarters in a town called Wayne, New Jersey. I had never heard of this area of New Jersey. New Jersey is just so big.
Yeah.
It's like an hour and a half away from where I'm at, and it's just like every turn, it's like you're this close, like a few miles away from New York, but you never get there. You just keep going in a circle. New Jersey is a big circle. So
yeah.
we're in Wayne, New Jersey. And at the end of the day, I'm number one right now in production and what I'm doing. So
Okay.
that's
Okay. Wait, where the clapping at?
Oh,
Where's
clapping.
the clapping thing?
Let me give myself some clapping, right?
All right.
So right now, halfway through September, we number one. So I can't complain about my weekend at all. I'm doing great things, even when you don't think you are. You ever just do something? You ever just do you? It turns out to be groundbreaking, and I think that should inspire people. If you actually just do, you might shake the ground that you walk on, because you might be thinking that there is no void for you or no space. And you realize there is nothing but space and opportunity if you just find yourself.
And you just do you. I love that. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a whole show. Like, do you, because people, we often think that the lanes are to be really like mimicked, and you have to do everything carbon copy the way you see somebody else doing. But the truth is, that was a word you just said right there. Like, just do you, and what's for you, whatever is your authentic vibration, your authentic resonance and frequency, it'll show up for you. It'll show up for you. That's pretty super dope.
I didn't know I was number one. I just happened to look up, and it was just like, oh man, ready for that. You would just see that. You would just be like, because it was an in-person meeting because of Zoom. Everyone's allowed to meet up via the cellular devices, but hey, let's all meet up, and you're not meeting up to have a celebration. It's like the award show. I don't know if I'm gonna win or not, but if I do, but so when we got there, it's like recognition time, and there I was. So far.
Wow. Splattered on the screen, huh?
Yep.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so super dope. I'm glad. Keep being number one, dear. You number
Oh,
one in
that's
my
the
book.
goal. It's listen, the goal is like once you hit certain lists, you don't wanna come
Hmm.
off those lists.
Yep. Yep.
You don't wanna come off those lists, and this
Mm-hmm.
is and if you can do that without
Mm-hmm.
the competitive e there's a competitive edge to it all.
Right.
But if you don't know that you're head and shoulders above the rest,
Mm-hmm.
and by just doing what you've been doing in a whole week, you like, "Man, I coulda did more, coulda did more," because that's just it's a
Yeah.
I coulda did more, and then you're like, "Whoa, I'm smoking
Mm-hmm.
haze right now."
Mm-hmm.
You still wanna keep that intensity. This is not the time to
Mm-hmm.
take your foot off the pedal.
Right.
Definitely wanna press on the gas a little more.
Well, keep at it. I know you will. And that's great news to hear that, that you burning up these financial streets in a good way. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of which, we can't wait to have your talk at Head Wraps Yoga and Asanas that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. But before I even get to that, I want to talk about the time we had at Goddess in the Garden, baby. Yes, Goddess in the Garden. It was amazing. Wait a minute. Hold on. Am I working in technology?
You are.
Hold on. Come
You did
on
it.
here now. Let's go. I need some bells, some clapping, some shit. Let's go.
You did it.
Woo! Come on here. All right. So the next thing is gonna be the lighting, right? I'll get that together. But for
Mhm.
now, y'all know it's me. Just whatever. It's all good. So the Goddess in the Garden is an event that we have every year in Philadelphia. My dear sister Zola, Crystal of the Crystal John brand, she created the Goddess in the Garden. The spirit of that energy came to her, and she's like, "Let me put this event together." Zola Crystal John is a staple in Philadelphia. She is like really a young sister who is, organizing, galvanizing, always there in community, in the Afrocentric, the cultural community of Philadelphia. And she has several events throughout the year. She has her Philly Crystal Cookout. She's got the Crystal John Beach Trip. She's just got like a lot of community based events going on. And I'm very, very thankful and blessed to be, advisor, to be queen mother, to be her sister and partner in prosperity in these events. So it was amazing. The Goddess in the Garden was simply fabulous. And we had a list of speakers. What it generally is a celebration of femininity and femininity in a high way. Ain't no twerking and people's ass out. And I mean, if that's a space for that, that's a space for that. Right? But we need to know, especially as Black women, that we are much more than that. The sensual energy, the sexual energy, the shape and physique of who we are as Black women is really kind of, the least we can offer. You know, we are builders, we are creators, we are, if you give something to a Black woman, you got something. It's just going to come forward in a way that you may not have thought about it. There was a time going by actually, that it was thought of to have a good woman in your life was a good thing. That you and she could build together, like y'all could build and become successful. There was a time when there was a realization that family was the cornerstone to success. But now, these thought processes that are coming on here, that are in our larger community programming, is that you can't love these hoes, and you can't, these women ain't number gold diggers, and you just got to get the woman. You can't really uh give your heart, your energy, your soul to a woman unless you are like a simp. I don't even know what the hell that word means. Does it mean simple, like a simpleton, like stupid in the brain, like
I
simp?
think we had this conversation before. I
It's
don't
coming back.
I'm
It's
too old.
coming back, Flaw. Because it's annoying as, funk. That, I mean, it's just annoying because really it's a trick of the enemy. It's tricking the young men and the young women out of understanding where the true wealth, where the true success lies. And that's in the partnership, right? So, Goddess in the Garden is a day that we celebrate the divine feminine within us. Not just the sensual beauty, not just, the capacity to walk in a room and either take the breath out of the room or light up the room. We are celebrating all that we are as partners with God in our divine beingness. So it was awesome. Our venue was the Nile Cafe in Germantown, 6008. That happens to also be my spiritual home. They have a spiritual temple there as well, which teaches ancient spiritual practices, meditation, yoga, diet, and nutrition, all aimed at helping a person increase their frequency and their vibrancy to connect with their higher source, right? But yesterday we were there for the party. We were there for because they have like a venue space, beautiful venue space, courtyard. I wish I had some visuals to show you of that, but perhaps when the video gets edited, I'll be able to add those in or whatever. So beautiful space, beautiful time. We had an excellent turnout. We had speakers and performers. All of that's on our IG too. So if you go to my Instagram, Mama Yoga Wellness, you will see pictures. And if you go to Zola's Instagram, you'll see videos and pictures. Zola's is at Crystal John on Instagram. So that was fabulous, right? And she also does Gods in the Garden as well. And that event comes up because, we are not a culture that be getting rid of our men. You know what I'm saying? We just like removing our men from our lives, and that's not our culture. That's somebody else's culture. Who are interested in, well, you don't really need that man, or be angry at the man or hateful towards the man. If we're participating in that, it's because we are drinking the Kool-Aid, child. We're drinking the poisonous Kool-Aid. We don't discard our men. We seek to love them up. We seek to be loyal to them. Black women are the loyalist women to their communities across the board, especially Black American women. So Zola Crystal John, she also contributes, creates Gods in the Garden, and that's later in the fall. That'll be coming up. But we had a time, as the young folks say, we had a time. This is some of the sisters that were there. Another thing that she did also was she honored sisters in the community who have been really present in the community, not just walking through looking fabulous or whatever, but actually making having impact on the various circles of community members that they serve. So it was beautiful. I was so honored to be a part of it and to be really like I say, Queen Mother and consultant, and just really great partnership. So that was super dope in that way. So the next thing we have coming up is head wraps, yoga, and asanas. I mean, head wraps, yoga, and curves. Come on here now. Y'all better hush on this technology now. Don't be playing with me. I'm getting it together, honey. So head wrap, yoga, and curves. And this is where Flaw and his team are going to present. Right? They will be presenting our financial literacy component, because at all of these health and self-care events that I'm a part of, we got to talk about money. We got to talk about money. We just have to bring that into the reality of who we are and what we're doing. Time out for, you having the culture and you down with the culture, but you can't pay your electric bill, or you can't really manage your life the way you need to manage your life. So the culture needs to transmute needs to be changed to a wealth culture, a living culture, a vibrant culture instead of this death culture that we're out here programmed with, right? The music, drill music, what community is acceptable to be talking about killing and shooting people in the head, and how victorious you were over killing somebody that looked just like you, that's just as oppressed as you, that's just, out here trying to survive as you. It's bullshit. I don't, am I supposed we on YouTube? I don't think I can cuss, but anyhow.
I think you made it past the limit of cursing. You can curse on YouTube, you just have to wait like 5 minutes. You can't just
What? It's a limit. There's a doorway. What?
Yes, it is. It is, yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious for the doorway. Okay. All right, YouTube. Anyway, the point is we need a living culture, not a dying culture, not a death culture. You got these people that have the ear of community, thousands, tens and thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people, and they telling them all they need to be on Percocet and lean and the rest of this nonsense out here, creating a death culture. So when we infuse these types of events, Head Wraps Yoga and Curves, which is coming up on September 30th. I know that's dating this particular episode, but it's all good. We have to just share what is happening. When we're creating these events, we have to talk about money. We have to talk about the importance of finance and the importance of setting up the various vehicles that are necessary for your financial success. Would you agree, Flaw?
I agree 1,000%. I was actually listening to something earlier, and I'm not going to mention it because it can be
Hmm.
very sensitive to the ears.
Hmm.
As I'm listening to it, I'm like, one thing I've never, ever, ever heard anybody in this position talk about was money.
Hmm.
Keep talking about certain things of how it inspires you and how it can change your, life for the better. Yet these people
Hmm.
show up to the Sundays and the Tuesdays and the Thursdays every day for this motivational speaking, which is great. But we
Right.
talk about
Hmm.
getting to this money, right? Now,
Hmm.
you'll have events like this in the town where it's about uplifting and what we need to do for the community, right?
Hmm.
All of that's fine and dandy, but what I'm trying to get across to the people is, do you know how emotionally and mentally relieved you can be if your finances were in order?
Right.
A lot of time, our finances aren't in order. If our finances isn't in order, the house just will crumble. Everything about you
Hmm.
is not right.
Hmm.
So events like this, without wealth talking, is good for
Hmm.
the time that they're there because
Right.
it's a great it's conversation, is momentum, is energy. We go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when we leave that facility, we got to go back
Hmm.
to reality.
Right.
With wealth talk, with financial talk, we're able to give you an idea and a game plan that if you
Hmm.
execute, and we talked about this before, if you just show up to be the best version of you and you
Hmm.
execute what the blueprint, because it's already written. This
Hmm.
this is not hard, but
Right.
you can only be and do what you know.
Hmm.
But once I give you some more game, now what,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
You're not you're not any type of bad word like dumb or anything like that because you don't know.
Hmm.
But when you
Hmm.
know, that's when the game starts. So come Head Wraps Yoga and Curves. I hope that my team and I can deliver just a message, like the same type of message, but with the end result. I think that my message is going to be a little different. Um,
Right.
'Cause like I said, I've been on this planet for 40 years. I've been to get-togethers and speeches and uplifting, and it sounds good for that time you're there. But
Right.
there's a game plan outside of other things. So
Right.
I really think that talking about finances at this event is going to be tremendous.
Yeah, no, we have to. We have to talk about finances. And the one thing that I learned over all these years of putting on these programs and events and being in the community and providing the body of work of service that is the Mama Yoga Wellness brand is that you can't really take none of it personal, that people are not receiving what it is you're trying to share with them in mass. It's like you see a fire on the horizon, and it is rapidly rolling down the hill, and you're ringing the alarm, in my case, in health and wellness and connected to spirituality, understanding how these different components of your life are affecting your life. You're ringing the alarm. Hey, 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 we're in trouble. We're in trouble, to thousands and thousands of people, and one and a half person listens to you. One and a half persons, a half a person, and not no one is a half a person, but they take the information and they use some of it and don't use the real foundational stuff that will really help change their life. You can't take none of it personally. You just got to continue to drop the seeds and do what it is you are supposed to be doing. You just got to keep at it no matter what, because like we said last week, or like I said on my live, uh if you don't show up, then it's just all darkness. We can't take none of it personal. And it boils down to creating like a small tribe. You just really, the focus is, what is the smallest amount of people I can serve and really serve? Like, really, they get it. They really understand what it is, and they are using this in their life. What's the smallest? That's really how we have to look at it. And then you work in that silo, and then that silo works in a silo, and that silo works in a silo, and then on and on and on. And that's how things spread. But you always start with the microcosm, always, because the microcosm is proof of concept. The microcosm is work out the kinks. The microcosm is, let's see the results. Let's see the results of what you're talking about. It works. Here it is, right here, working, in this group of people, or in this particular tribe that I have decided to serve. And you let the growth of that be between God and the people, really, because it's frustrating. You'd be like, dang, I'm sitting here talking. I'm sitting here trying to give you my heart. I'm sitting here dropping all these dang on gems that you could use to put the fire out. And ain't nobody listening. One person, a half a person called me, say, I'm talking about the beauty of meditation and how you can meditate yourself into wealth, how you can use that energy into wealth. And somebody called me and talking about, so yeah, I want to know about meditation. No, I don't want to know that part. I don't want to know this part. I just want to know this thing. Okay, so I'll just give you what you want to know. It is a journey of baby steps. It's a journey of just feeding people little by little. I want to say what's up to Energy Vibes, peace and love. Thank you for coming on. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you. Like, share, and subscribe to our podcast here. And come on out to Head Wraps, Curves, and Yoga if you're in the vicinity. If not, just let's stay connected. It's all good. Peace and love. The Podcast Brothers Network is on.
You know it.
Hey.
But
Go
just
ahead.
backing off what you were saying about one
Yeah.
and a half and everything like that. But what helps me with that, because
Yeah.
I go with that as well. Yes,
Mhm.
once you possess a certain power, like Mama Yoga can't help that she's, blessed with these powers that she has, and she wants to, put them on her people, right? And the knowledge that I happen to learned recently doesn't make me holier than thou, but I just know something that, hey, I want to
Yeah.
tell you guys about it.
Yeah.
When you know people, right? You
Mhm.
grew up with people and they just don't want to hear what you have to say. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is
But it
frustrating.
helps me is what
Mhm.
you told me. And I
Mhm.
tell my people this, right? And I
Mhm.
said, we're searching for our tribe.
Mhm.
And the other part of that message is that I got from somewhere else is everybody can't go.
That's right, honey.
Everybody cannot go. And that what keeps me motivated, that hey, if I reach out to I thought was a friend of mine,
Mhm.
or I thought that, hey, if I was in a bind, you would at least give me 5 minutes of your time.
Right?
Doesn't work that way. I'm
Mm-mm.
still under the impression that whoever I'm going to build my fortune with, I
Mhm.
possibly don't even know them. I don't even
Mhm.
know them yet.
Yep.
Not even in New Jersey. So
Mhm.
I'm okay with that. That's fine. Like the more knows means
Mhm.
that, the yeses are coming and they're gonna come from the right place. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's real. That is absolutely real what you're saying, you know. And the reality of it is too, I was listening to, I love Steve Harvey. I don't care whatever is whatever. Like I always say, I said on my live, Steve Harvey is like my uncles. When I was a young girl growing up and I had all my uncles, it's so weird. They are all gone. They're all past now. But you know, when I was around my uncles, they was like Steve Harvey, like the same kind of ish talking, hood hustling brothers out here trying to. They had every kind of job you could think of. They was like that type of black man, my uncles. So I love Steve Harvey. Is something very familiar about him to me, is what I'm trying to say. And um, the reality of what he was saying. I was listening to a motivational talk he was giving the other day, and he was like, "You can't worry about your fortune. You really have to turn your focus to who you can serve and how many people you can serve. And then that service, your fortune is in exchange for that service." And so, especially in some of our industries and business, metrics are everything. Like even Goddess in the Garden, right? At some point when we are having these type of events, my mind is like, these need to be sponsor centric. There needs to be a financial experience for putting on these events. And people in our culture specifically, they feel weird about that. They feel anxiety around that, especially grassroots community cultural based people. But the reality of it is that it's no different than anything that is our offering. If our ancestors had been paid a tenth of the money for their contribution to the qualities, the inventions, the services, the work and labor that they gave in this country, we would be so much farther on the ladder in terms of inheritance, in terms of wealth. But, out of that slave mentality, then now come to the 21st century, people are weird about money, especially community folks, especially when we go to our urban inner city black communities and start talking to them about money. A lot of times they just can't see it. So these type of events, no different than the Odun Day. Odun Day started as a cultural grassroots event celebrating a particular Afrocentric or African, actually Yoruba, divine feminine essence and energy, right? Called Oshun. It started as a cultural, little tiny event in Philly. And 2 years ago, or maybe right before the pandemic, the executive director, Sister Boomy, was on Patty Jackson's show. And I'm speaking, this is all local people if y'all are not tuned in this area, but Patty Jackson is a pretty big deal. On WDAS radio, she said Odunde is now responsible for bringing $30 million every year into Philadelphia. $30 million from a street festival, an African owned, Black American owned street festival, because they steered that festival to growth and they saw the opportunity to tie in the monetary resources without losing the fruit of the festival. And so when we are putting on these various events, head wraps, yoga, and curves, the Mind Body Energy Conference that's coming. All of these events, these cultural community events have to be elevated because we can't really do nothing without funds, right? So there's a way to engage sponsorship without losing the fruit. There's a way to talk to people about financial well being and success who are ready for that. It's a whole lot of people just ain't ready. They coming at you side-eyed, and just like they said in the Matrix, the very people that you trying to wake up is the ones that's going to try to take you out. So you have to just really speak to your tribe and keep it moving until until they come around. And if they don't ever come around, it's all good. That maybe this lifetime they're not supposed to hear how to elevate your spirit doing breath work, and how to increase your financial flow in the same dynamic. But we still got to keep doing what we're doing. So I'm looking forward to the what's the name of your team? Top money, getting it
Yep,
money.
yep. Team of purpose. Top. TOP.
I done called y'all top money.
Hey, but
Put it all together.
I do want to speak it into existence because I came into the team TOP, but I'm
Yep.
also going to speak in existence into my team building now because I
Yep.
am the head of my own team that I'm putting
Absolutely.
together now. I'm building my tribe, and I already
Mhm.
have the name of my team. And we're
Okay.
going to listen. And we're going to be called Hustlers Ambition. It's
Okay.
what we are. That's what
Mm.
we. And when you come into what I'm doing, like the name's going to say, like if you come into TOP, I would have to tell you what that means.
Right.
And if I say you're about to join Hustlers Ambition,
Right.
then you already know how we coming. And you need
Mhm.
that to get to where we want. And it's part of a song. It's part of a 50 Cent song. Um,
Okay.
but part of the song, he goes, "I want to find the things in my life, so I
Mhm.
hustle." And that's
Mhm.
that's that's the motto. We
Okay.
don't talk, and the reason why I think that's so important is because just getting back to the head wrap yoga and curves and the momentum and the conversations. Those are conversations we don't have. We
Mhm.
don't talk about the things we want.
Mhm.
We don't think that we can achieve them. We don't think that we
Mhm.
can have them. We don't think that we can dream. We just talk
Mhm.
about, you know, uh, I don't know what we talk about these days because I'm so far removed from not dreaming.
Right.
Like I'm a dreamer
Right.
and I'm a dreamer and I drive past certain neighborhoods and I can say, man, I can get that house.
Mhm.
You don't think about that before you have a plan in place.
Mhm.
Now you sit around and go, I can get that house.
Yep.
Hey, anybody listen to this? When the last time you went to a car dealership just to look? See, we look down on that, call it a window
Mhm.
shopping. No, 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 no. Go to that car
Mhm.
dealership, sit in that car you want, and you tell yourself one day,
Mhm.
instead of saying never. So I can go on. I can do this all day, mama. This is what I do.
Mhm.
This is what I
Mhm.
do, right? So, and the crazy part about it is people know me. You know me. I've never
Mhm.
been much of a talker
Right.
until I had a reason to talk.
Mhm.
I had a purpose. So, it's no such thing as I don't like people. I don't got friends. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm living
Right.
proof that if you want to gain wealth and knowledge, you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone.
Mhm.
There it is.
Right. You do have to step out of your comfort zone. That's for sure. Absolutely.
And make it comfortable. Step out of your comfort zone and make it comfortable.
And find your comfort
Find
within
your comfort
the
within.
uncomfortable zone. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's some bars right there, as y'all say. Right. So head wraps, yoga and curves, September 30th, a whole host of speakers, including self-care and of course the financial speaking. We're gonna have medical screenings, because what I started doing, I come from a holistic, complementary background and natural background, but I realized that you should at least get you some numbers, your BMI, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, these numbers you need to know, right? So that you can do whatever means you need to correct anything that is scaling in the wrong direction. They can give you the report, your lab reports and all of that, and a lot of these things can be corrected with diet. Like a lot of those tests that come out, come back, your blood pressure, all of your blood pressure, cholesterol, of course your weight, all of these things can really be corrected with diet. Going back to Steve Harvey again, I heard him say that they mentioned his cholesterol was, I mean, his blood pressure was high, and they put him on blood pressure medicine. he said, he said, "Look, I was on that ish for a week. I told the doctor, look, I can't do it." And he stopped taking the blood pressure medicine, went completely vegan for 3 months, and his blood pressure normalized. And then he said he went back and to eating steaks and whatever. I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of like not the mindset. If it's working for you, look, you got probably more years behind you than you have ahead of you, probably. Even if you live to 120, and you're 65, you still only have 60 ahead of you. You with me?
Yeah.
So, or 55 ahead of you, right? So it was kind of foolish, but I guess he'll go back to whatever. The point is not him. The point is we have somebody that is prominent, and there are literally tens, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who understand that the diet is key to everything, even in the fitness world. Like if you need to lose weight, it ain't really about all the jumping up and down. It's about the diet. 80% of your fitness concerns, your body's overweight concerns, I should say, are what you are eating, when you're eating, and how you're eating. And this is a remembrance that I had to tune in for myself, because I'm at that stage where some adjustments have to be made, so it's all good. It's like, okay, it's the diet. I can go and work out and jump up and down. That's a portion of it because the calorie burn helps to contribute to a caloric deficit. But you can't go, burn up 700 calories and then go to Five Guys. That shit is ridiculous. It's kind of like, a mental, what they call that? When your consciousness or your actions are not really matching up with reality, not delusion, but it's kind of like a cognitive dissonance, right? Like you kind of seeing things and it's not really connecting. No, it's diet. It's what you're eating, when you're eating, and the way you're eating. What? Too much fat, too many carbs, too much junk, too much stuff the body can't absorb and use and burn up and process when you're eating. Is it too late? Is it too often? Is it too much food at one time? And how you're eating. That goes to the too much food. Are you sitting in front of a device aimlessly just showing in, shoving it in? Is it a habitual thing that if you're sitting in front of the TV, now that's the time to eat? Like when I used to go to the movies, I wasn't going to the movies without a smuggle bag. It just was like a habit that I had, created from the time the Mayflower movie theater was in Trenton, and that's going back, to the 70s. So these habits, what we need to break, and coming to gathering like Head Wraps and Asanas and others can help us fix our money, fix our mind body energy, fix our healing all the way around, for sure. So I can't wait. September 30th, and it's free. You can just register to come online, and of course we have vendors and everything, so that is super super dope. Yep.
Mhm.
How many of your team is coming for the Head Wraps and the Saunas? Do you know?
Yeah, 3 of us.
Oh yeah, you told me. Right, the three of y'all. Okay. So the next thing I want to just talk about, and then I want to get into some what do you call it? What they call it? Popular news or whatever.
Mhm.
Anyway, so I let me get my bill. Sometimes the best way to learn is to teach, you know? Sometimes the best way to make corrections you need to make is to share in community. And I am doing a chakra healing, heal your chakras, heal your money challenge. Going live every day, 5 days a week. And, talking about all of the chakra energies, how they heal you, how they are in balance, what to look for when they're out of balance, what little signs can let you know that your chakras are leaning towards an extreme in one way or the other, and how those energies inform, affect, and really help you manifest throughout your life. When you were saying that, you wanted to name your group Hustle,
Hustler's ambition.
Hustler's Ambition, the next thing that came to me was Hustler's Ambition manifested, earthed, brought forward. The ambition is ambition, right? But you want that ambition to land into what you're seeing, what you're trying to do, what you're doing it for. Hustler's Ambition manifested. You don't have to go with that, but that's what I was seeing as you were telling me, what you want to name your group, right? Because that's a call to action. It's a call to action with an expectation that you stuff is manifesting around here. We are materializing what we're trying to do. Well, your energy base around your whole body, that aura field, is what helps you do that. The frequency that is your energetic life force is what helps pull to you or repel from you. And a lot of times we don't realize that our energies are out of balance and why we keep having the same experiences. Why we keep pulling in these same dynamics, these same situations, these same, experiences that's not all that fun. That's always hurtful. That's always like, what? Why do I keep doing this? The same thing like if somebody, okay, I'm gonna get my money together, I'm gonna save. And the next thing you know, the check is gone and they are like, have no idea what happened to the money.
Yeah.
Like you go to sleep on these various, habits and things. It's energy that needs to be adjusted. So through the Heal Your Chakras, Heal Your Money challenge is not just about money, but that is the main, we want to get to that. The first order of business is self-care and self-discovery. And those are the taglines of the event. We'll be using the Mama Yoga's Chakra Balance and Healing Reference Guide, which you can go to my Linktree, Mama Yoga, Linktree / Mama Yoga. And we'll put the links down in the bottom here so we don't have to have, a time trying to find it. And just register. The challenge is completely free, every day live. I will be on and we will go over all of the different components of chakra healing and balancing your energy. And in the book, I've created a five component system. So color frequency, crystal resonance, mantras, and vibrations, that is words of power that don't necessarily have a meaning, but they have a frequency, a tuning capacity, right? And affirmations, which is reseating the mind, because that's what we have to do. Always bring that mind, body, and energy into alignment. And aromatherapy. Those are the 5 pathways that we're going to use to balance out the chakra energy. And again, the title of the challenge is Heal Your Chakras, Heal Your Money. But the tagline, the subtitle is really the fruit: self-care and self-discovery, right? You can do all 90 days, you could do 30 days, you could do 7 days. I'm going to be there for 90 days. 90 days every day, because I got my own self-discovery, the self-discovery that spirit is asking me to bring forward. And as a vessel to that, I want to share that experience with those who are interested, those who would be and are interested in the tribal connection of that is Mama Yoga Wellness, right? So it's going to be excellent. We're going to have a time at that. We'll work on the consciousness, the habits, the memories, the subconsciousness, the things we didn't even know. That's why the whole thing is discovery, because a lot of times there are things that are impeding your manifestation capacity, your frequency alignment, that you're not even front lobe consciousness aware of. You just are not aware of that. You're like, oh, so we're going to unearth love up, heal up, and remove through this chakra healing journey. Those things that are obstructive, because wealth, healing, and frequency is not just kind of like a happenstance. You have to be consciously, intentionally dogged about all of it. And partnership, being in community, being a part of a challenge, like-minded people, that is helpful. It can be very, very helpful. So I look forward to sharing that energy with everybody. Hmm. Yep. You've been working on your chakras, any Flaw?
No.
I know, right? I'm like, I'm gonna ask Flaw about that. Hmm. Yeah. No, sir. Well, it's all good, my dear. It's all good. Absolutely. Oh, oops. I done removed Flaw from
There I
the
go.
thing.
There I
You
go.
said you said I wasn't working on my chakras. I was like, click.
I'll show you.
Oh, that was totally, totally by accident. I was trying to get rid of the other stuff. Everybody know that, right? All right. Good people. You got anything coming up this week you want to share with folks?
This week, no.
Mhm.
It's going to be my son turns 22, 24th of September.
Okay.
So he's the last birthday as far as
Mhm.
mine, me and mine.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a lot of everybody. So birthdays like every month, a few a month. So it's just I'm going to try to enjoy myself. I'm actually going to a concert uh, before the event that you're having on the 30th. I'm going on the 29th. So I'll be coming back
Okay.
from Atlantic City,
Okay.
all fumes, ready to teach the truth.
All right now. You
People,
say you're going to a concert?
yeah, it's Friday night, but I'm staying up there till Saturday morning. But then I'll be headed straight to you
Okay.
afterwards.
All right. Well, we'll make sure that we put y'all's chat later in the program lineup.
Okay, all right, sounds good to me. Other than that, I'm just going to continue being number one, continue to
Mm-hmm.
keep improving, keep trying to teach a message to the people out there that you can dream again. I think that's my biggest thing. You can dream. Um,
All right.
because other than that, don't talk to me because all people want to talk about is how rough their life is. I don't care.
Yep, 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 yep. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna say I don't care,
Of
but
course,
I'm not the kind of person that we just gonna be talking about the misery.
yeah.
My thing
No,
is,
no.
okay, what we gonna do about
What
it?
you gonna do about it? Yeah,
Yeah, like what we gonna like I can't spend a whole bunch of time down in the misery. Like what are we gonna do about it? And sometimes that's kind of callous to people.
oh yeah,
Sometimes people don't feel that that's because people really don't want no damn solution. They want to just talk and moan and groan and
be
let
a
you be
victim.
like a sounding board. Right,
They want to be a victim.
right, right. Absolutely, be a victim. And I can't support that. You know, there's a way to fix it, even if fixing it is just you coming to a certain level of peace about it.
Yeah,
It's the same thing like the understanding of healing and being cured are two different things. You could have a chronic or terminal illness where all of the paperwork, the processes, and the diagnostics come back and say, listen, your body is under assault and you're not going to, your lifespan is shortened. You have, as far as we could tell, you got a short period of time, right? A person can really honestly come into a space of being healed if their mind body energy is shifted to peace, acceptance, and a certain connection of gratitude.
hmm
The person is healed. Cured is when whatever that health disruption, whatever that health disruption is, it's just gonna have its way, or it has been halted from having its way. That's cured. Healed and cured are two different things. And you can be in a state where you are healed.
Mhm.
in a sickly way, and that means that the sickness is not really claiming you. It's only claiming your body, but you're not bitter and angry, and going down in flames with the particular condition or concern, you know? So it's the same thing like, when we talk to people and they, all they want to do is just they want somebody to commiserate with. We got to find, I'm not that person. Because I'm going to be like, okay, well, in the 5 things that you told me, I done seen, okay, well, how about this? Let's try that. Well, what about this? And that annoys people that just want to chat.
Yeah.
That just want to lay there, that's want to like, you know, just like have diarrhea of the mouth, just want to just lay their stuff out on you. That annoys them. So sorry, not sorry. We ain't like that. It's
Can't
in
do
our
it.
DNA. My mama wasn't like that neither. She'd be like, oh, God bless my mama, Mama Jean. She'd be like, really? Okay. So, well, baby, okay, I understand all that, but what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And that puts it back on you. Again, responsibility and accountability. So we'll practice being healed, practice the vibration of love, peace, and mind, body, energy, and balance, right? So much so that we walk through our life in peace. Till next time. See y'all. Peace. Where's my bell?